set, Victorian with a marble-topped breakfront, and a roll-top desk, tall, with pigeonhole letter slots and a barrel-like door over the desk. The furniture came from the Lecorgnes, and it was born during the years of the one with the pretty name. When we were growing up, my brother and I and family sat at that Victorian dinner table where, in a manner of speaking, we ate with our Klansmen 1,000 times. The Lecorgne family, and it seems Constant himself, owned the dinner furniture. The table, a couple 100 pounds of cherrywood, had a scalloped pedestal, curling knees for legs, and feet like claws. It came with a massive breakfront, 7 feet high, with a red marble counter at the waist, little shelves, and beveled mirror above. The dining room was the grandest in a plain house. As I was growing up, we ate every night at the same table. The story came out when necessary. If a visitor admired the furniture, my mother had this to say: Carpenter Lecorgne had a customer who could not pay his bill. Or maybe it was someone who did not want to pay, and who wanted to barter. So a deal was made, and the client paid with the dining room furniture. When? Oh, that was sometime in the late 1800s. Lecorgne is not my family name. The Lecorgnes were my mother's people and her mother's, yet in the chain of being, and by inheritance, the Lecorgnes are, of course, my people. Our Klansman was my grandmother's grandfather. Aunts and uncles had the name Lecorgne. Albert Lecorgne, Uncle Albert, sometimes came to eat. When you shook his hand, you could feel calluses where his fingers met his palm. That was because Uncle Albert belonged to a line of Lecorgne carpenters. Polycarp Constant Lecorgne had been a carpenter. Bertha Lecorgne, Aunt Bert, also came around, although to me she is a dim memory of an unsteady walk. Then there was Maud Lecorgne, Aunt Maud. She really was the caretaker of the clan story. The Klansman, I've known about him since childhood. I have been afraid of his story. From the oak desk of my mother, I took the manila folders back to my home in Connecticut. I put them in a file cabinet. They stayed there for 10 years. In 2013, I took out the files. I studied the family trees and read notes about the Lecorgnes. Their lives unrolled in somebody's cursive. The longhand was unfamiliar. It looked antique. I knew my mother's handwriting. She wrote in a style from the time she went to school. This cursive was older. I turned over a page and saw the name Maud Lecorgne. It was Aunt Maud's hand. Aunt Maud's grandfather, Constant Lecorgne, was a family hero of sorts. That is, he was a hero before standards changed and his memory became too hot. Then he was forgotten, deliberately. Maud's grandfather was a hero because he fought for whiteness, for our tribe. And if you measure the results, he won. There is a Creole saying, On lave son linge sale en famille. Wash your dirty laundry inside the family, meaning keep quiet about the bad stories, show no conflict, say nothing that dirties reputation. The adage is a reminder always to disguise. I want to tell the story of this ordinary man with the unusual name, because he helped to lay out and to tend the garden of whiteness in which we dwell. Aunt Maud lived in New Orleans with her sister, Edna Lecorgne, my mother's mother. Maud was a great aunt to me, but she went by the simpler Aunt. When I was a child, our family many times visited New Orleans, my mother's hometown. Eventually, we moved there, and the city is one of the places I grew up. Edna and Maud Lecorgne, the two sisters with antique names, were in their 70s when I was a boy of 9 or 10. They lived in a bungalow on Nelson.